is Mary Ann Farnchak. I'm Executive Director here at the National Packard Museum. We have the Packard history, the family, Packard Electric, and the Packard Motor Car. Something for everyone here in Warren, Ohio. I have been here 23 years. I came in right after the big Centennial show in 1999. And I love coming here because I never know who I'm going to meet or what we're going to get into next. There's always more history to discover. There are new exhibits to create, and every day is different. Oh, the Packard family tree is probably our most popular exhibit ever. And mostly because it answers a lot of questions that people have about the Packard family and their contributions to our society, to our culture, to our local history. It explores the women's impact. The men are always the ones you hear about, JW and WD, the brothers who started the Packard Motor Car Company. But I can tell you, those women were way beyond their time. They were involved in a lot of different things. The Legacy Gallery has all of the early history about the development of the Packard Motor Car. It also has early Packard Electric history, the development of a lot of their innovative products. The Packard family tree is made with all Packard Electric wiring. So and the cars that are in there are 3 cars in there. They were actually built right here in Warren, Ohio. So that's the big difference. The Legacy Gallery hosts all of the legacy pieces specific to Warren, Ohio. This big gallery was a move to Michigan that happened in November of 1903, and it has the cars that were built after Warren, Ohio. My office is right there in the hallway, and I hear it all the time. Oh, wow. I mean, it really does have a wow factor when you see the early history and all of that. You start to get an understanding of how it all started. And then to come in here and see what happened with that little start that they had in Warren, Ohio, and how it blossomed once it went to Michigan. It's pretty amazing. And the other thing is we have a big sign in the hallway there of all the Packard firsts. There are some amazing things that you take for granted every day. Your windshield wipers, your glove compartment, the foot pedal accelerator, the H-pattern gear shift. Those are all Packard innovations that we use pretty much every day. They were first one to put a steering wheel on their car. And they made their first car before Henry Ford did. Henry Ford gets credit for the automation part of it because that was his thing. But Packard was still hand building their cars and making sure everything was precise and running them on a track. If Packard found out that there was something that wasn't working properly, and it didn't matter what year it was, they ran them on this track. If they found something wrong, they stopped production and fixed it and then went on. Jesse Vincent was Packard's master motor builder. He actually got into Packard Motor Car Company before World War I and worked on the very first engines for World War I for airplanes. He built the Victory engine, he built the PT boat engine, and that was incredibly important because it was the PT boats that were sent out to pick up personnel that were stranded somewhere or that needed to get somewhere quietly. They could not be tracked by radar and sonar because they were made of plywood, but they could go really fast. And we have a PT boat engine here. We also have the Merlin engine here. The Merlin engine powered the P-51 airplane, and it was significant during the war because it could go 10,000 feet higher than the enemies could, and it could do a barrel roll without the engine dying. And that's all because of Jesse Vincent's innovations. Every year we have an annual motorcycle exhibit, and we started the annual motorcycle exhibit in the year 2000. So this is our 23rd, well, it'll be our 24th year in January that we've hosted a motorcycle exhibit. And when we started doing that, all the other auto museums were going, what are you doing? You know? And now, 24 years later, most of my colleagues are having annual motorcycle exhibits. But what it did is it brought motorcyclists in here and enthusiasts to see the motorcycles, but then it exposed them to the Packard ingenuity and the beauty of the Packard motor car. So You know, we got to appreciate what the motorcycle did for transportation history, and they get to appreciate the Packard history. In fact, several of my motorcycle committee members bought Packards after we started doing that and showed them for many years. So this year we start in January, we end in May, and this year the featured motorcycle is Harley-Davidson.